Heung-min Son, you are a cheat. Heung-min Son, you are a cheat, and I hope Tottenham Hotspurs get relegated. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 3. Erhan in the cut. What did he say? Go into Power League with the man them when the game was on is the best decision I've ever made. Listen, I mean, it's better than your worst decision, which is supporting Tottenham Hotspurs. That 45 minutes, that second half, that was brilliant football. That was brilliant football. Well-deserved victory. Everything we got out of that game was deserved. And let's be honest, we deserve more. We deserve more. Well, you know, let's start properly in this. Listen, for me, this just confirms what we all knew before. Man United are getting top four. I mean, there was I've heard a few murmurings from Chelsea fans about, oh yeah, we might be able to catch Man United if they drop points. Let's hope for a draw, because a draw will bring Man United back into the reckoning. Will only be 7 points and Spurs won't catch us, blah, blah, blah. All of that talk. Guys, it's over. It's done. Manchester United are in top four. Anything else you want to talk about, that's fine. I don't have an issue. Let's talk about the top four race, but just don't include Man United in the discussion. Let's not, because you'll be doing yourself a disservice. And really and truly, what you'll be doing is wasting time on discussion. There is no debate. There's no Man United are in the top four. Now, I'm not going to go as far as some people talking about, oh yeah, we can close down City. Listen, a long way from that. We win our game in hand, we will be on 66 points, which is actually what we got last year. We finished last year 38 games on 66. So if we can win our next game, which is Burnley, I believe. Let me just double check fixtures. Yeah, we've got Burnley at home next Sunday. So if we win that game, we'll be on 66 points with 6 games to go. So potentially, we could end the season with 18 more points than we did last year if we win all our games for the end of the season. Realistically, we're not going to win all our games at the end of the season, but a further 18 points on top of that. So you're saying what? 21, 7 games, 21. On top of that is 84 points. That's the maximum we can end this season. Realistically, we're not going to. We've still got some tough games. We've got Liverpool at home, and we've got Leicester at home as well, haven't we? Yeah, I think we still got Leicester at home. Trying to find Man United's fixture. So we got and is that the 2 games? Those are the tough games. Wolves away. If you really want to call it tough, I guess you can. But yeah, Liverpool at home and Leicester at home are the 2 tough games of the season where you might say we've dropped points. So if we were to drop points from those, let's say 2 points on both, we could end the season. So realistically, 80 points max. 80 points max we can end the season, which is a decent tally. We won less than Jose did in 2018. If we can win the Europa League with that, then it would be the best single season we've had post-Fergie. Remember, 2017, Jose won Europa League and League Cup, 2 trophies that we're not really famed for winning because they're the more minor ones, but 2 trophies nonetheless. Europa League and League Cup, and then he wins. I think he finishes 6th. The season after, he came second, lost in the FA Cup final. Got knocked out to Sevilla in the Champions League, but didn't win any trophy. So if we finish second and win the Europa League, it will be the single best season since Fergie. Now, I ain't saying give Solskjaer a new contract, but I am saying he doesn't deserve to be sacked if we do that. But going back to the league table, yeah, so we win that, we'll be 8 points behind Man City. Realistically, for us to consider any kind of title race, Man City need to lose 2 out of their next 3 games. and we have to win all of us. So let's say we win 4 games in a row, we'll be, or 4 more games, we'll be on 75 points. All right. And Man City will be on 77 if they win 1 out of their next 3 and lose 2. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Man City are not losing games at that rate. They're going to do what they need to do to get over the line. Maximum points we can get from here is 84. They need 10 more points from out of 21. Out of 21. So 3 wins and a draw, and they've won the league. Mathematically, they'll need 4 wins or 3 wins and 2 draws mathematically, but their goal difference is so superior that 3 wins and a draw and they win the league. So it's a matter of when and not if, as far as the title is concerned. But what this win does, it takes us 7 points above Leicester. Of course, Leicester lost 3-2 to West Ham today. West Ham, they're scoring 3 goals like every week. 3 against Arsenal, 3 against Wolves, 3 against Leicester, 3-0 up even in all those games. Arsenal came back 3-3. Wolves came back 3-2, lost. And Leicester came back 3-2, lost as well today. So, and this is without Declan Rice, without Antonio. They've got a good chance. But what that does, they win that game and it allows us to pull away. And it's obviously going to be a tough game, but allows us to pull away from Leicester. So not only is top 4 confirmed, if I'm being honest, second is nearly. Second is pretty much confirmed because Leicester, with a few injuries as well, I think they had some issues with people going out, breaking COVID rules. But they have got Man United as one of their games. The rest of the games aren't tough, so they could have a good end to the season. But Man United away is a tough game. I think their last 3 games are tough. Yeah, Chelsea away and then Spurs at home. Those are the last 3 games. The 4 before that are relatively easy. So if they win those, then you think, cool, Leicester will finish in the top 4. If they don't, if they drop points, because look at Chelsea. Chelsea's 2 points off Leicester. If Leicester drop 1 more point, so they draw 1 more game, Chelsea are on their arse. If they drop 2 more games, Liverpool on their arse. I mean, they're already on their arse, but they're past them. They're past them. I think Leicester's going to bottle it. They have to win their next 4 games. Because their last 3 games, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Spurs, they're losing at least 2 of them. They have to win their next 4 games or they're done. Guys, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. West Ham won today. That was a very important victory for them. I think for me, that was a must win for them. They got Newcastle next. Then they got Chelsea. That's a big game. I think I can see them getting something from that game. Maybe not a win, but something. But they got Chelsea and Everton, 2 of their next 4 games, which isn't going to be easy. And then after that, let's see if they're going to need more tough games. West Ham. Pretty comfortable. So again, 2 out of their next, the last 7 are comfortable games. Sorry, 2 out of the next, other than 2 out of the next are comfortable. Big up Wilson. Yes, thank you. I am staying safe and I am doing well. Chelsea, good run of form. Of course, we know they lost 5-2 to West Brom, but they had a scintillating performance against Palace. And I think they're right in there. The only thing that might bother them, is the Champions League and the FA Cup. So they're still doing a bit of a balancing job. Leicester's out of Europe. West Ham's not in Europe. Spurs are out of Europe. Liverpool are probably going to be out of Europe, which will play in their favour. Chelsea are still juggling. So fixture-wise, I'm going to speak about the game in a second, guys. Just bear with me. But fixture-wise, West Ham away, Man City away, Chelsea at home. Sorry, Arsenal at home. Arsenal at home. Leicester at home. That's tough. That is tough. Chelsea got points on the board, but they're not sitting in fifth. So not sitting in fourth, they're sitting in fifth. It's tough. It's tough. Liverpool, they just have to play Man United. The rest of the games are easy. But the reality is, Liverpool are where they are because the results against the teams we expected them to get, they failed in. They failed in. So who knows what's going to happen? They didn't play well, or that well. They played all right, but not great against Villa. They played all right, but they got the win. At this stage of the season, you just need the results. And Spurs. Spurs are 6 points off fourth. 6 points off fourth, and if we're going to be completely honest, where is the next win really coming from? I mean, I'm not saying it's more a run of games. They're playing Everton next. It's not, the games aren't easy. So the games ain't hard, but you can't rely on Spurs. That's the problem. You just can't rely on Spurs to get the results in the games you're expecting to get the results in. That's their biggest issue. Their fixture list is fairly comfortable. They got Everton next, they got Leicester on the last day of the season. But they could drop points at any moment. That's the problem with Spurs. Smash the like button, guys. And Everton, I haven't got them on my screenshot. Let me see if I can actually bear with me. Let's see. There we go. Premier League table. Can you not see? Oh, you can't see that. There we go. Everton are sitting in 8th place, 47. So who are Everton playing next, actually? Fixtures. Everton are playing. Well, that game needs to be rescheduled. Tomorrow they're playing Brighton. They need to win that. Then they've got Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham, Man City. Everton ain't getting top four. Put them right at, they aren't getting top four. They've got Aston Villa to play twice as their games in hand or game in hand. So they win that. If they win the game in hand, they'll go above Spurs. If they win their next game, they'll go above Liverpool. But they got too many tough fixtures, as far as I'm concerned, for them. And as you can see, Arsenal there sitting in 9th, hoping that teams around them can drop points. I mean, if Villa win their game in hand, they'll go above Arsenal. So yeah, the less said about them, the better. But as far as Man United is concerned, sealed and delivered. Yeah. Right, we've got to talk about this game. Let me go through some of these comments before we do that. Red letter day. And also, sorry, just Hala Madrid just reminding me. What's happening with Atletico? They have absolutely thrown this away. They drew 1-1 today. They drew 1-1. Real Madrid won the Clasico. Real Madrid are 1 point behind, and Barca still have to play Atletico. Zizi's going to do it. Zizi's going to do it. Adrian says, second half was an amazing performance. First time in a while I saw those short combination passes around the box. 100%, bro. 100%. That Fred goal was the epitome of it, really, where it was, I think it was Fred into Rashford, back to Fred into Cavani, took the shot, saved, and Fred follows up. It's what we did so good after lockdown, and it's come away from us, especially in the last few months. Says, I heard Mourinho had a meltdown as always. So there's a comment that Solskjaer spoke about Son going down for the disallowed Cavani goal, which was an absolute disgrace of a decision. Disgrace of a decision. I say it, disgrace of a decision. Embarrassing. Like, McTominay runs away from Son, and Son kind of tries to grab him, or tries to feel where he is and tries to grab him. And McTominay just brushes him off. He brushes him off, and his arm extends, and his finger flicks. Just flicks Son in the face. It's like that. Flick. That's it. Not a punch, not a slap, not an elbow. Just flick. Son goes down, hold his face. Oh. Play goes on, gives it to Pogba. Pogba sits in Cavani. First time finish 1-0. It goes to VAR. And they're looking. Overturned. Disgrace. I mean, is this a man's game or what? Like, sorry. I don't get 2020. Is this a man's game? This is men's football. I'd be embarrassed if that was given in any football. Women's football, under 21s, under 15s, that is embarrassing. It's a terrible decision. To overturn it as well. If you gave it in the moment, you say bad decision, cool. The goal wouldn't necessarily happen, you would have blown up. But to overturn the goal based on that, embarrassing, man. Absolutely embarrassing. And yeah, Solskjaer basically said if my son was down for 3 minutes holding his face after something like that, he wouldn't get any food. And Mourinho said, well, thankfully, Son is a better father than Ole, because children should be fed regardless. Bread is bread, cheese is cheese, or something like that. It was funny, but that's a disgrace of a decision. I'll be doing the Europa League preview. Try to do it on Sunday. Not Sunday, sorry. Try to do it on Wednesday, because I won't have time to do it on the Thursday like I did with this match, because the dugout is at the same time. Spare minute for Dean Henderson. The saves and the sweep in the communication. Very good game for our new number one. 100%. He had a good game today. He's going to be number one in the league for the rest of the season. So that will give him 12 games in a row in the league. He's already played 4. Yeah, he's only played 5 now. So we give him 12 games between now and the end of the season in the league to show what he's about and if he can be trusted as the number one. And again, he didn't have scintillating saves to pull off, but he made a good save from Kane. He claimed all the crosses that came in, and he was sweeping off the line. The balls in behind that Maguire or Lindelof were not struggling, but they were, they had to kind of keep pace with the attacker. Henderson was there to clean up in a way that David De Gea doesn't, but they have their strengths. It's not about competition, but he's definitely well within a shout of going into next season as the number one. Artificial intelligence says this win hopefully will give the confidence to the players, finish the season on a high. 100% we need to finish the season on a high. I want to win as many games in the league as possible, keep the gap between us and City at a minimum down to single figures. When you see something like that, single figures, the promised land is much closer. You think, all right, we finished 8 points, 6 points behind City. We do this better. We recruit that in the summer. We can go and win the league. When you finish 16 points, 26 points, 33 points from the top, you cannot see the top. You're just thinking, let's just close the gap. Because that's what we've done this season. Last year we finished 33 points behind City. Liverpool. 15 points behind City. All we're trying to do this year is close the gap. Now the gap's been closed, and hopefully we can keep it like this. 15 behind City last year. If we can knock 7 to 8 points off that, that's halved it. Next season, we knock it again. You're in a title race. What do we need to do in the summer? What do we need to do coaching-wise? What do we need to do on the pitch to win the title? That's what you're talking about now. Winning the title. It's step after step after step. Of course, we know Liverpool are probably going to be back next year. Chelsea are going to be stronger. But again, you focus on yourself. This season, you finish on, let's say you finish on 80 points. All right, guys, we need to pick up at least 3 more wins. 3 more wins puts us on 89, 90 points for a draw, maybe. That's a title-winning season. Potentially. It's a title-winning season. That's very, very plausible. We've dropped some real silly points. Everton, West Brom, Crystal Palace, Sheffield United. Real silly points. But we need to make sure we finish the season strongly. And, of course, win the Europa League, as Adrian says. Shane says, best second half of football for months. 100% agree. Pogba was brilliant. Definitely a chance, a possibility of man of the match between him and Cavani. He dominated that second half, and he should have had an assist in the first half as well. He was brilliant. He had that free roll, especially in the second half, a free roll just to be wherever he wanted to be and do whatever he wanted to do. And he did it to a high level. That's the thing. Pogba technically is our best player. When Pogba dominates a game, we win because he dominates the whole pitch. Bruno has been our most effective player. But if Bruno's our best, that's just at the up one end of the field. It's the goal assist. Pogba controls the game. He creates, and I mean, he didn't score today. He should have scored. He should have scored today. Terrible flick. I don't know what he was doing, trying to flick it. Just hit the ball normally. Goal. I think it would have made it 2-1, I think. And they say about competition, Bruno and Pogba, we need them both. But when Pogba is on song, there's not a midfield in world football that can do what he can do. What do you think the club will do regards to Lingard? We need to do away with the sentiment. When I say the sentiment, I don't mean not being emotionally attached to players. Be emotionally attached to players, but also know when to pull the trigger. And we've done that well under Solskjaer, to be fair. I think it's best to cash in. Let's be honest. He's going to be a bench player for us with Bruno there. Hopefully, we're getting a right winger in. He's going to be a bench player. He's 27, 28 years old. He needs to be playing football. He wants to be in the England side consistently. He's playing well. So, yeah. He needs to go. He needs to go for himself. He will be a good backup for us. Don't get me wrong. He'll be a good backup for us. But he's more than a backup at this stage. We've had a lot of those players that come through Man United at different stages, and you think, they're good players, but they're just not good enough for Man United because, in the sense that good enough to start for Man United week in, week out. The O'Sheas of this world, the Kieran Richardsons, the Chris Eagles, the Danny Welbecks, those players have come through Man United, have played games, have been important at times off the bench, big games, etc. But consistently starting 38 games, 50 games a season, they're not good enough to do that. So there comes a point in the career, like Danny Welbeck had to do, where you have to move on. You say, all right, I've tried all my might to get into this first team consistently. I've won stuff. I'm a fan favorite, etc. Time for me to go. And I think it'll be perfect actually for Lingard to leave now, because what you don't want is to come back and he goes back into the rut that he went already, and then he leaves on a bit of a downer. With this great run that he's having with West Ham, and hopefully they can get top 4. Hopefully they can get top 4. Lingard being a catalyst to that. He goes with our blessing. He's going hopefully to a team that still want him, etc. And is the end of his career in the Premier League. He's still got years ahead of him. Don't get it wrong, but the last stage of his career, he can enjoy his football and just be happy. We all love Lingard, if we're going to be completely honest. Perfect scenario will be able to do a swap deal with Rice. That would be perfect. The more goals he scores, the more assists, the more he shows how vital he is to West Ham, the cheaper the Rice deal would be. I mean, if they get top 4, will Rice be pushing for a move? Maybe not, but for the right price, Rice is available. For the right price, Rice is available. Everyone's available for the right price. Let's talk about Arsenal. If he's going to Arsenal, double the price. Double the price. We sold Danny Welbeck for way too cheap to Arsenal. I think it's about 16 million. Disgraceful. I know we got Van Persie for cheap, but I don't care. That was a disgraceful sale, that price. For English as well, homegrown, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, who else? Spurs wanted him in the summer. In January. So we say, look, a swap deal involving Kane. I'll take it. Let's see. Leicester are bigger bottle jobs than us. They are about to finish 5th. I mean, yeah, when you have Bottle Rodgers as a manager, it's very peak. It is very, very peak. West Ham versus Bayern next year will be a laugh. West Ham will go 3-0 up as usual and lose 10-3. Literally, I just saw this. What about Lingard plus cash for Kane? Yeah, listen, that will knock. Obviously, he's doing it for West Ham, so it's not the same. But for me, his price right now is a minimum 30 million because he's British, so you have the homegrown factor. He's done it at Man United. He's doing it with West Ham. If he gets West Ham into the Champions League, minimum 30 million. I know it's a COVID market, so I'm not gonna try push it up to 40, but it's minimum 30. Minimum 30. If you do that with Kane, you could do a 90 million plus Lingard for Kane. You could. Devil Dog says, told you City losing to Leeds and Chelsea. We're closing the gap to 5 points. Oh, when they play Chelsea, we need to make sure we win our games in between. Wilson, do you think West Ham can finish in the top 4? Smash the like button, guys. They can. It's just not easy. You just have to keep going. They need to be a bit more, being able to see out games more comfortably, because like the Arsenal game, it's gonna bite you if you keep conceding goals from being 3-0 up. You can't be games can't be this tight every time you go 3-0 up. It really can't. Erhan says best Tottenham can hope for is 6. Wilson says I believe that Leicester will miss out because of the injuries and poor form. I believe Chelsea and Liverpool will get top 4 because they have better fixtures. However, this top 4 battle will go right down to the wire. Listen, Chelsea got tough fixtures. But they got points on the board as well. Spurs are not good enough. They're inconsistent. Let me just go through some of these comments before I chat more about the game. Big up Gem. You lot check out CFC Gem on Twitter and on YouTube. You played against a bunch of frauds. Nothing too exciting. Battle of the ballers today. Listen, we did play a bunch of bottlers, a bunch of frauds, but I'm excited same way. I don't care. You're not taking that away from me. Big up Rome. You lot go check out his channel and the social medias, the 4th official Rome. Am I the only one still upset with the effing ref? I was just on KG, the comedian. I was on his channel just maybe about half an hour ago, and I kind of calmed down. After when I was on Football Terrace, just after full time, I was still mad. They tried to cheat us. But I'm a bit calmer now. I'm gonna go watch probably missed the match today. I have to rewind it, and then I'll be mad again. But the 3-1 in it, we got the 3-1. Cavani, Indiana. Yes, you're right. You're right. If we play like we do like we did in that second half, then we'll create more chances like we did, and we'll score more goals like we did. So yeah, if we play like we do, if we can play those last 45 minutes, rest of the season, I might be convinced by your statement that a striker is what we need as a priority, as in ahead of a right winger. I might be convinced, because you can go out and then maybe get a Rafinha or a Neto for 40 million or so, get a world-class striker in Kane or a Haaland, and you can guarantee we're going to create those chances. The issue is that 45-minute spell that we've seen, and in terms of the quality of chances we're creating, it just before half time, with the Cavani goal disallowed, Cavani's actual goal, Fred's goal, Greenwood's goal, Pogba's chance, Rashford's chance, 2 chances Rashford kind of had, especially one that Dyer blocked. If we create those quality of chances on a consistent basis, I'm with you, but I'm not seeing us do that. So I'll hold fire on at the moment. But listen, Cavani, the movement is mad. He's always on the move. Pogba gets the ball. If you go watch back the disallowed goal, I'm trying to remember exactly, because the movement was mad. I think Pogba gets the ball and he kind of stops, and he's in between the 2 centre backs, and he kind of comes in a bit and curves his run, obviously to stay on side, and Pogba slots it in first time finish. When Cavani does his movement, is probably best in world football. Maybe Ronaldo's might be better. Sorry, my camera's gonna mash up. Cristiano Ronaldo's might be better, but his movement and his first time finishing is right. It's top 2. It's top 2. When you give Cavani too much time to think about his finishes, that's when he actually messes up. But those first time finishes, whether it be his head, whether it's foot, He's instant. He's instant. Because he's a penalty box striker. So slip him in and let him shoot straight away. All this counter attack, playing against a high line, and he that's not him. He ain't got the pace for that. He ain't got time for that. He really can't. He ain't got time for that. Yeah, you did. You did. It was a fluid free. It was a fluid everything. It was just fluid. Pogba was all over the shop and just Pogba was all over the shop and just doing a madness, man. He was just dominating that game. Sebastian says, I am a neutral, but anything that has to do with the head is a serious thing, even if it was hard or not. It was a great goal. It was a great goal. Oh, you're talking about... Oh, piss off, mate. Oh, no, stay on the stay, but piss off. It's a smash in the head. A smash in the head? Oh, come on. Oh, God. Anyway, we won in it. OLE to Jose. Vikings don't eat cheese. Did he actually say that? This is hilarious, man. This is hilarious. Relax, relax. Pogba in the half winner, Mazzala row is deadly. If the players around him do their job, keeping position and knowing when to release. Listen, and if we get a DM and we can play 2-8s with him on the left of that, then he's deadly. Pogba needs freedom. That's the bottom line. Pogba needs freedom. Yeah, imagine Marshall had a season like he did last year. That's all I'll say. Lingard swap. A Saka swap. Listen, I'll take it. But that's not happening. We got to keep Jesse, man. There's a spot made for him on the right. No, look what he's in at West Ham. He's in the number 10. He's in the free role. They play against high lines on the counter attack. It's perfect for him. He's not a right winger. He's not. Let's keep it 100, man. Let's keep it 100. Who Lingard? New contract? For Lingard's sake, he better not. Just don't sign the contract. Kevin K. Uncle Moore again. HH has got into your head, man. HH has got into your head. OLE has buried him. Accept it. Lads, it's Spurs. It's the history of the Tottenham, in the words of Jijun. I forgot his first name. Chiellini. How can I forgot his first name. Giorgio. My goodness. I don't know what I was going to say. Madness. Giorgio Chiellini. It's the history of the Tottenham. Lead level. Yeah. Great result. We'll chat about the game in a second. When would you feel that you are in a title race? 6 points, 5 points, 3 points. Well, if we're talking about this season, big up Matthew De Souza. If we're talking about this season, there's not many games remaining. So realistically, we got to be like, if Man City lose their next game and we're 5 points behind with they will have 5 games to go if we win the games in hand. You're clutching. You got a chance. That's what I say. It's not a race, but you got a chance. 3 points is a race. 3 points is a race. Even with 2 games to go, 3 points is a race. I know the goal difference is better. But, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Eugene says, get sound against or Rice with Pogba and Bruno as 2-8s. We roast the league. Rice. I want Rice. Listen. I want Rice. Indeed, he's going to be too expensive. Rice, there's a ready-made deal for Rice with Lingard. I think you can do a deal with Leeds, with Dan James. We know they want Dan James. Go and put some money down with Dan James and get Rafinha. Like, there's business that can be done without spending a lot, and then you can buy. So you get a DM, you get a right winger, you get Kane. Or you get a DM, you get Sancho, and you get a centre back. Like, well, let's be honest, we're not going to go get that free £100 million signings. It's not going to happen. Lucky to get two big names, but with the Lingard factor, effectively the Declan Rice signing becomes a 10-20 million signing at max. So it's nothing. You sell a couple players and you made a profit on that already. There's Dalot, there's Pereira. Like, this summer can be very, very good, but we know with our ball it can be very, very bad. Let's see. Samara is a great option. Will be cheaper than Rice. But correct me if I'm wrong. What I've seen of Samara, he's a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a DM. I could be completely wrong, but I remember when we were linked with him maybe a year ago. It was around the same time we got Bruno, if I'm correct. And I was looking at him. I was doing some research, and he looks much more of a box-to-box midfielder than a DM. I don't know how he's playing this season or what position he is playing at the moment. Let's see. As a Chelsea fan, I feel it will be very close between our two clubs next season. Closest battle since 2010. Yeah, but we were both fighting for the title. So you think both might be in the title race? I would love that. As long the further Liverpool and Man City away from winning titles, I'm all here for it. I am all here for it. Mawada says no, he's a proper DM, great defensive attributes. Fair enough. I haven't seen him this season. Definitely when I checked him out a year and a bit ago, he was playing more of a box to box. But if he's playing DM, I'll take your word for it. It's someone we definitely need to look at. He did look good. Don't get me wrong. When I saw him as the boxer, he looked good. But it's just that he's a boxer. Same as Basuma. People keep talking about Basuma, and fair enough. I think Basuma's played. He can do the DM, and maybe in a pivot, he'll be very good as well. But can he anchor a three-man midfield in a 4-3-3? Can he do that? Like a Kante would, or a Casemiro does, or a Fabinho, or Ndidi. Or does he need a pivot? That's the kind of I want someone. Granted, Rice plays in a pivot, but the way that he plays with the license that the likes of Souček have going forward, he holds it down by himself. I don't watch Samora enough to make a judgment, but that's a player winning. If he does that, he does that. Camavinga can do that. But he's a bit younger though. He's a bit younger. We need someone right now who can just come in and just take us to the next level. And when I say take us to the next level, them alone ain't gonna necessarily do that. But what they do with their solidity allows the rest of the players to play at their best and take us to the next level. Adrian says, do I think Rice can anchor? He does play next to Souček, but Souček gets forward a lot. Whereas when Pogba plays in the double pivot at the moment, he's not really allowed to get forward because Fred and McTominay aren't natural defensive midfielders. McTominay is a box-to-box midfielder. And Fred, I mean, Fred is technically a box-to-box midfielder as well. He's just not really great at one compared to one box. Is Casemiro available? I wish. Fabinho is who we needed. But listen, on the game, I said, someone mentioned Dean Henderson earlier. Very, very, very solid game. Luke Shaw, another brilliant performance from him. In front of Jose Mourinho as well, who caused him so much grief when he was the Manchester United manager. Maguire, I think he was decent. He's on 9 yellow cards at the moment, though, so he needs to be careful. What's Man United's fixtures again? He needs to be careful because, remember, 10 yellow cards at this stage of the season gets you a 2-game ban. So if he gets a booking against either Burnley or Leeds, he's going to miss the Liverpool game. If he gets... Solskjaer's not going to do it. But if we get through the Burnley game without a booking, I would not play him against Leeds to make sure he's available for the Liverpool game. And then after that, if he gets a 10th yellow, then cool, a 10th yellow. Oh, I wish we could get Kante and Pogba. That would be perfect. Wan-Bissaka, I think he had a decent game. I think both fullbacks in the second half kind of got much better. They were allowed to push up much higher. And they were linking with either Pogba or Bruno on the wings, as opposed to linking with Dan James, for example. And I think both fullbacks did very well. But I'll say he probably had a bit of an average game. Lindelof, yeah, I mean, he was decent overall, but massive error for the goal. Poor. Get your foot on it. Just get your foot on it. Stop the ball from going through. It was terrible. Can't blame Shaw or Maguire for Moura having been in the position that he was. It's part of the game. But the issue is Wan-Bissaka comes in to press Kane, which isn't an issue, except for the fact he vacated the space behind him. But he had to go and press Kane because Fred vacated the space in front of him. So Fred left that space open, allowed Kane to drift in there. But if Wan-Bissaka doesn't go with Kane, Kane turns and shoots. And we know Kane can score from anywhere. So he goes in, and Kane has to then turn it around the corner, which he did. Lindelof should clear that. Christ averted. But he doesn't. Ball goes through to Moura. Rashford's on his heels, doesn't track the run of Son, and simple pass across, and Son scores. Poor goal to concede. Second half, we were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. In the midfield, McTominay, I think, was poor. He got a booking early. Adrian says, do you think a midfielder could have filled the space? No, it was very quick. Rashford, if you watch it again, if you haven't seen it again, Rashford is right there. He sees Son. He makes a little movement, and then he realized, because what happens is obviously the mistake happens from Lindelof. He makes a little movement, but he realizes Son's too far ahead. There's nothing he can do. Kind of throws his hands up in the air. Should have been tracking him consistently. So no, I wouldn't put it on one of the midfielders. I'll say Rashford should have tracked him. But if the midfielders were in the position in front of the centre backs, then Wan-Bissaka wouldn't have to get sucked in. I'm not going to blame Wan-Bissaka for it 100% at all. Not at all. Fred had a much better second half. Of course, got his goal. Good interplay at the edge of the area. Follows in the shot from Cavani. Big up Devils avocado. Devils avocado. I've got some avocado. I need to get some avocado. I haven't even eaten yet, so I'm going to eat after I'm done here. Big up, Rachel. Yeah, Fred. First half was poor. I mean, his passing today wasn't great anyway. Stats-wise, it wasn't bad. But I know what game I saw. Innit? I know what game I saw. It weren't great. But at least in the second half, he was kind of doing the job that he can do, which is win the ball, give it to someone better. Win the ball, give it to someone better. Not playing these long, hopeful, long passes, switch of play, and always and giving the ball away. So yeah, big up from that second half performance. And his goal, ultimately, is the one that got us back in the game. I mean, the goal was coming. But he got the equalizer and sparked the comeback as it was. Rashford, average game. He's playing on the right. It's always a problem for him. It's not his best position, but he did all right. I'm sure we know he's still carrying an injury. He had a chance that the ball into the area. Pogba heads down. Cavani first time pass to Rashford, takes a touch, and Dyer comes over. I thought that was a goal. Dyer comes over and blocks it. There's another chance where Cavani, I think it was Cavani, put him in on the left. And for me, he should have just shot with his left foot. I know he's not his favourite, but shoot with your left foot. No, he cuts back, and then the kind of chance goes away. Just shoot across the keeper. You never happen. Cavani shoots with his left foot. Laurie saves it. Fred taps in. Just shoot across the keeper. See what happens. Listen, keeper might make an error. I fast with Bradley. Says, inside, Edna scared tonight. Exactly. Yes, I was there on KG comedian stream. And Edna, who had a go at me after we beat Brighton, she was nowhere to be seen. That means she must have loved that performance. Always get avocado. Yeah, I did my shopping and I forgot in it. What can I do in it? What can I do? It looks like teams are targeting Rashford's foot. I noticed that against Granada, was it? Or was it Brighton? I think it might have been Granada. I can't remember now. But they just kept going after his ankle. It was Granada. It was right at the beginning. And they just kept kind of kicking at his ankle. So football's a dirty game, isn't it? Football's a dirty game. Artificial intelligence said we stepped up as soon as we came out of the second half. I think the guy, they were pumped up. Whatever social I say in the dressing room, tactically and motivation-wise, they were pumped up for that second half. Moved the ball much quicker, pressing, keeping the pressure on Spurs, attack after attack, realistically, and creating chance after chance. Creating openings, just putting the pressure on. It's only a matter. I was looking at that game like, as long as we keep 10 men on this field, because the game was fiery at that point. The game was fiery. We got robbed, a few yellow cards. Bruno got booked. Cavani got booked for a little incident with Rodon. McTominay and Fred got booked. And I felt like then Maguire got booked in the second half. But I felt like there could be a red card. But as long as we keep to 11 men on the field, we're going to win this game. And we did it. Bruno, again, poor in the first half, but much more composed in the second half. Again, I think that incident, the incident in the first half rattled everyone and we kind of lost our heads. But in the second half, it's like we used it as inspiration and we just took our game to another level. And as Nomad says, the Bruno nutmeg, the ball comes in, flicks it through. Whose leg did they go through? Was it Ndombele? Sissoko? I don't know who it was actually. Regular? I don't know. Flicked it through his legs anyway. And a brilliant first-time cross from Mason Greenwood off the bench. Cavani makes the movement on the diving header. Like, it was just brilliant. It was brilliant play. It was beautiful to watch. And obviously, we always want to see that more often. It was brilliant play. Pogba, as I said, arguably man of the match. Just dominated the game. Dominated from about 30 minutes onwards. So, or 25. First 25 minutes was poor from both sides. They had a lot of the ball, but they were poor with it. And then they got the final third. Then we were trying to go long every time we got the ball, and it wasn't working. We didn't even have the profile of player to go long. There was no Dan James. Greenwood wasn't there. It was Cavani. It was Pogba. So it didn't even make sense. You know, we had to get the ball down on the floor and play, and that's what we did in the second half. We got the ball down on the floor. We played in their half and dominated. But Pogba was brilliant, man. That's one of the best performances he's given to us, especially this season. Definitely his best, without a shadow of a doubt. His best performance this season. A stark cry from the 6-1 defeat where he was terrible. He was terrible. We were all terrible, but he was terrible. You talk about not being able to run because of COVID, etc. I'm not saying it's all on him. Yeah, we know the effects, but this was like redemption. This is that 45 minutes was the best 45 minutes we played this season. That 6-1 defeat, I don't even think it was our worst game this season. It was a mitigating factors. Sheffield game was worse. Crystal Palace was probably right up there as well. But it's like a redemption. And I hope that we can use today to say, all right, we've got over that. That's done now. We've made up for that error. We're going on another step now, another journey. But Pogba was just brilliant. People were talking about him holding the ball, as Mawada says, couldn't do anything about it. Then he'll get the ball, he's dribbling past man, getting a few crosses in. Like, the guy can do it all, and that's what we want to see. Give him the freedom and he can do it all. And then Cavani, yeah, he's just a striker. He's a striker who likes to score goals. Yeah, he'll get involved in the link-up play and work rate, press and all that, but he comes alive at the edge of the box. And we don't have many players. There's not many players in world football who come alive in that way. And unfortunately, we haven't had that player at Man United since Robin van Persie. Really. Lukaku, to an extent, but we didn't play to his strengths, to be fair. But even here, he's not Cavani's level when we're talking about legacy. We're talking about legacy. He's not on Cavani's level. He's playing very well right now. He's a brilliant striker, right? Don't get me wrong. But there's levels to this, isn't it? Cavani is a proven old. I think he got over 400 career goals. Like, there's levels to this thing. Zlatan again. Zlatan, very good goal scorer. Very good goal scorer. But he likes to do a bit. He likes to come a bit deep and play a ball here and there. He's like he doesn't pass as well as Kane, but he likes to come into those little spaces and kind of get involved, hold up the ball and lay it onto someone. Cavani really ain't got time for that. Cavani's like, I'm on the shoulder. You put me in behind, I'm scoring. Different strikers, but it's that just the fanatic nature of his want to score goals. Make that net run to the near post. Make the run to the back post. And he's angry when the goal gets disallowed. Listen, that's why him and Rodon got into a little spat. He was angry. But he made sure he directed it in the right way. All different strikers, all different qualities, all goal scorers. But we see the way that the likes of Greenwood, I would say, can learn and is learning from Cavani. That's the kind of things we want to see from Greenwood in the next few years. On the shoulder, Pogba gets the ball, you make that run. You curve and run to stay on side, first time finish. None of that fancy dancy stuff. Greenwood got a good goal today. Gets the ball, boom, 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 pass, Region into net post. But you know who's going to score those goals? Those little one-touch finishes inside the 6-yard box is how you're going to take a 10-goal season, a 15-goal season to a 20, 25, 30-goal season. You have to be in the box, ready for those tap-ins, those headers, those off-the-shoulder finishes. And, I think next season, if it's up to me, you say Haaland or Kane, I'm going Kane. Kane right now is the better player, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. Of course, Haaland has a bigger legacy, a bigger future. But I don't think his future lies at the club he goes to next anyway. So you might get 3-4 years out of Haaland, and you get 3-4 years out of Kane anyway. It doesn't make a difference. Kane's more than a goal scorer. He likes to pass as well. He's a leader, and he's proven the Premier League. He will come in like Van Persie did and just score. There's no bedding in period. There's no adaptation. There's no personal issues in terms of family, anything like that. And I think Haaland will score goals wherever he goes. But guaranteed from game week 1, Kane's banging. And he's guaranteed 25, 30 goals, 20 to 30 goals a season in the league. That's just what it is. You get 4 years out of Kane, 5 years. Thank you very much. He will take you to that next level. And also, because he's older, he's 27, 28 years old, Greenwood is not an issue with Greenwood that he thinks, oh, my career is going to be stunted because I'm competing with someone my own age. No, Kane's senior. So what you're doing now is learning from Kane and getting ready to take over when he's gone. So that's why Cavani coming in now is a brilliant for Greenwood, because it's not a case of, you're going to stunt my growth, I need to get first team football elsewhere. You don't have to worry about that. When you bring in a Haaland who's going to want to play every game, then you start asking, so what do you do with Greenwood? Now, I don't have an issue with Haaland. I will take him anyway. And you say, well, Greenwood, you got to force yourself into this team. Keep them both. Maybe you have to pay from the right from times. But I would say Kane's a safer bet from the go. Moada says, isn't Haaland more like Cavani than Kane? I think in the box, Haaland is better. As he is more like Cavani than Kane. But don't get Kane go getting twisted. Just because he's doing a lot for Jose, he wasn't doing that. Remember, he wasn't doing that with Pochettino. We know he had it in his locker. But you had Cavani, you had Eriksen, you had Moussa Dembele, you had Dele Alli. All of those were playing behind him. And he was playing as a number 9. Right now for Spurs, he's playing as like a 9.5. He's dropping deep and he won't have to do that with us. You got Pogba and you got Bruno behind him. So he would just be a 9. So he'll still be in the positions to score the goals. He's more of a Alan Shearer kind of striker, 100%. But he's still going to be in the position to score the goals. And all types of goals. All types of goals. But yeah, listen, guys, man, brilliant result, brilliant performance, especially in that second half. And Granada, I'll do my preview for that in the week, probably on Wednesday. That we should be through. It's not like I'm not even contemplating going out of the Europa League. It's more of a case of who we're going to be playing in the semi-finals, either Roma or Ajax. Of course, we want a good game. A few players are going to get a rest. Shaw, McTominay, and Maguire all suspended for that game, so we could see the likes of Tuanzebe come in, Matic, Van der Beek. One of them could probably start. Hopefully, Van der Beek, to be honest, can start, and Telles will probably start as well. Final comment here from Hallam just said, Neeks, remember these words. If Odriozola starts at Anfield, a Liverpool comeback could be on the card. Vasquez is out, isn't he, for the rest of the season? So it'll be interesting. I don't really rate Vasquez that highly, but if it's better than this brother, yeah, you better not throw away that lead, sorry, should I say. Get away goal early, and Liverpool can chase the game. If Liverpool play anywhere like they did against Aston Villa, they didn't play bad, but Real Madrid are much better than Aston Villa. So if they play like they did against Aston Villa, you are through to the next round. Big up Waid Wasim in the chat as well. Just cutting out now. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share all the content. Thank you all for joining me, all your contributions in the chat, and I will see you lot very, very soon.